Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most perplexing and hotly debated topics in modern NBA history. Why does LeBron James, a player who has dominated the league for over 2 decades, seemingly struggle to get foul calls from referees? It's a question that has puzzled fans, analysts, and even players for years. Is there a bias against him, or is something else at play? Let's break down the facts, look at the key moments, and explore the theories behind this phenomenon. It all really boiled over in February 2018. The Cavaliers were playing the San Antonio Spurs, and after a tough loss, LeBron James didn't hold back. He voiced his frustration, not blaming the referees for the loss itself, but making it crystal clear that he was fed up with the officiating. He said, and I quote, "I know what a foul is. At this point, it's getting a little frustrating." This public outcry ignited a massive debate across the sports world. Was LeBron just complaining, or did he have a legitimate point? While many in the media were quick to criticize him for speaking out, one person who rushed to his defense was his former Miami Heat teammate, Mike Miller. Appearing on ESPN's The Jump, Miller gave a perspective that many fans had been feeling for a long time. He said that even back in their Miami days, when LeBron was averaging 7 or 8 free throws a game, it still felt like it wasn't enough. Miller's famous quote really sums up the core of the issue. "It's hard to ref him. He's physical, he's big, and he's always attacking the hoop. In my eyes, he doesn't get enough calls." This wasn't just a teammate defending his friend. It was a veteran player highlighting a real, observable discrepancy. So, let's look at the numbers, because they tell a fascinating story. During his first stint with the Cavaliers from 2003 to 2010, LeBron was a freight train driving to the basket, and his free throw attempts reflected that. He averaged 8.6 free throws per game during that period, even peaking at 10.3 per game in the 2006-07 season. This was a player living at the free throw line, punishing defenses that couldn't stop him legally. When he went to Miami, the numbers stayed relatively high, hovering around 7.7 attempts per game. This was the era of the Heatleys, where LeBron was arguably at his physical peak. But then, something started to change. Upon his return to Cleveland in 2014, his free throw attempts began a slow but steady decline. And since joining the Lakers for the 2019-20 season, the drop has been even more significant. In every season with the Lakers, he has averaged no more than 6 free throw attempts per game. Think about that for a second. A player who is still one of the most powerful and aggressive drivers in the league is getting to the line less than ever before. This isn't because he stopped attacking the rim. If you watch the games, you see him barreling through the lane, absorbing contact night after night. So what gives? One popular theory is what we could call the Shaq effect. Shaquille O'Neal, the most dominant physical force in NBA history, faced a similar issue. He was so big, so strong, that the contact he received looked different from the contact a smaller guard would receive. A bump that would send a 180-pound point guard flying would barely move Shaq. Referees, being human, develop a bias, consciously or not. They see LeBron, a 6'9", 250-pound titan, and they perceive contact differently. The level of force required to legitimately foul him is so much greater than for an average player that officials simply do not blow the whistle. They start to officiate the player's reputation and physique, rather than the action itself. It's a subconscious standard. Well, that would be a foul on anyone else, but that's LeBron. He can handle it. This brings us to the boiling point, the moment that put this issue under a global microscope. January 28, 2023. The Lakers versus their historic rivals, the Boston Celtics. The game is tied with just seconds left on the clock. LeBron drives to the basket for a potential game-winning layup. Jason Tatum reaches in and clearly, undeniably slaps his arm. It was a textbook foul. Everyone in the arena, everyone watching at home, saw it. But no whistle. The game went to overtime, and the Lakers lost. The reaction was immediate and explosive. LeBron was incensed, falling to his knees in disbelief. His teammate Patrick Beverley even brought a camera to the referee to show him the missed call on the spot, earning a technical foul for his efforts. The fallout was so immense that it forced an unprecedented response. The very next day, the official NBA referee's Twitter account posted a public apology. They wrote, "Like everyone else, referees make mistakes. We made one at the end of last night's game, and that is gut-wrenching for us. This play will weigh heavily and cause sleepless nights as we strive to be the best referees we can be. This was a stunning admission. The league's own officials acknowledged they blew a game-deciding call on one of its biggest stars. This incident wasn't just a one-off. It was the culmination of years of frustration. It validated what LeBron, Mike Miller, and countless fans had been saying for years. The "he's too strong" argument doesn't hold up when the rules of the game are supposed to be applied equally to every player, regardless of their size or strength. A foul is a foul. The fact that the league had to publicly apologize proves that there's a systemic problem in how James is officiated. Another aspect to consider is LeBron's own evolution as a player. As he's aged, he's developed an incredible post-game and a more refined three-point shot. He doesn't rely solely on brute force to the same extent he did in his early 20s. However, his primary strength remains his ability to get into the paint and create chaos. The issue is that the reward, getting to the free throw line, is no longer as certain as it once was. This might subtly discourage him from driving as much, forcing him to settle for jumpers, which is exactly what opposing defenses want. It's a vicious cycle. He gets less calls, so he drives slightly less, which in turn leads to even fewer opportunities for fouls. It's also worth comparing him to other stars in the league. Players like James Harden and Trae Young became masters at drawing fouls, often using specific techniques to initiate contact. LeBron has never really played that way. His game is built on power and directness. He doesn't often flop or flail to sell a call. He plays through the contact, and paradoxically, this might actually be hurting him. Because he doesn't embellish the contact, referees might perceive it as less significant. It's an ironic twist where his incredible strength and durability work against him in the eyes of the officials. So, where do we stand? The evidence seems overwhelming. The statistical decline in free throw attempts, the testimony from fellow players, the infamous missed call against the Celtics, and even the public apology from the referees themselves all point to one conclusion. LeBron James is officiated differently. It's not necessarily a malicious conspiracy, but rather a complex mix of subconscious bias, the Shaq effect, and perhaps even a penalty for his own physical resilience. It seems that even the best officials in the world struggle when faced with a player who defies the normal physical standards of the game. What do you guys think? Is LeBron the victim of unfair officiating, or is this all just part of the game for a physically dominant player? Has his style of play contributed to the lack of calls? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. We'd love to hear your take on this. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of the NBA. We'll see you in the next one.